So now the flip side of a sale is a use. So if I am a consumer, if I bought something and it was sold to me, I now make the use of it. So how do we define use? So use is the storage, use, or consumption of taxable property or service and includes the exercise of any right or power incident to the ownership of that property. So if we think about that definition of sale, it was the sale of anything. I'm going to talk about the second bolded term there, taxable property or service. So just as on the sale and a sales tax, I didn't have any transaction that was subject to tax if I didn't have something that was taxable. So things that are taxable under the sales tax are generally also going to be taxable under the use tax. So we look at that same definition of what is included in the tax base of either tangible property or services. But when does use occur? And so use occurs when I use something. So I buy something, I bought that sweater in London, I bring it back, I am wearing it in Illinois. That is where I am using the sweater. I am actually making use of that sweater in Illinois. So now I have a use in Illinois. Consumption would be something that is dissipated. So I buy some food and I am going to eat that food. I am consuming it. I am purchasing some cleaning chemicals for my manufacturing plant. I am consuming those at that manufacturing plant. Storage is when I buy something and I am bringing it into a state and I am storing it, but I don't know how I'm going to use it or where I'm actually going to use it. So the word storage is not in every state's different definition of use. And so that tells us that if the state includes storage, that even if I bring things in and I am not going to end up using them in the same state, I still could have a use and therefore a potential tax on that storage activity. If storage is excluded from the definition of use, then that means I probably qualify for what we refer to as a temporary storage exemption, which would allow me to bring goods into the state, store them, not use them, not consume them, but simply store them and potentially not have a tax incident. The last bolded phrase is exercise of any right or power incident to the ownership of the property. So what this means is in order to have a use, I don't necessarily need to have physical possession of those items. If instead I direct a supplier or some other partner of mine to do something on my behalf, if I own that property, then I could be creating a use activity. Best example of this is marketing material. So if I am a retailer and I hire a printer to print a advertising postcard that is going to be mailed out to consumers, and I ask the printer to not only print them, but also to do the mailing and fulfillment of that. And on that postcard, I have asked the mailing house to put the addresses on there, what type of postage to use. So is it first class or bulk rate? There's probably something on there that tells the post office what to do if I have moved, whether or not to forward it or leave it with the current resident. All of that is exercising rights and powers over that property because I, as the retailer, the advertiser, own that property. So if that is included in the definition of use, then I would actually have a use that is occurring.